Today, I'm in conversation with Laura Martinez about marketing as an introvert. We talked about marketing, but also talked about being a mom and an entrepreneur. And to amplify it, her son refused to nap until we were well into the conversation. You can hear him trying to join us during the first thirds of this chat. We talked about marketing as an introvert, the importance of strategy, and also what it takes to start feeling confident to get visible and market your services. Laura is a marketing and systems strategist who helps female coaches sell out their offers using strategic content without feeling burnt out. Being an introvert, it took her 4 years from starting her business to gain the confidence to start a free Facebook community that really helped scale her business. Now she's confident enough to host weekly live video trainings in her group to help her community. But it did take a while to get the courage to do so. And we uncover all her strategies and tactics in this conversation. She has this very sought after free spreadsheet full of 30 days of content ideas that I want you to go download and use immediately for your content marketing. You can find the links in the show notes. Let's dive right into the conversation. Welcome to the Impactful Introvert Podcast. I'm your host, Seema Pateel, an introverted business coach and a mom of two. My genius shines in helping introverted women map out a simple and sustainable marketing strategy tailored to their goals and introverted personalities. Every week, I'll share with you how you can simplify your marketing so that it is sustainable. After all, you started your business to serve clients and make an impact, not to master marketing. So let's jump right in. Hey, Laura, welcome to the Impactful Introvert podcast. Thank you for being here. You also are a marketing strategist and you are a done for you service provider as well in terms of marketing for coaches and service providers. Please let our listeners know what you do, how you do it, and the magic that you create.
Yeah, so I am a marketing and systems strategist and agency owner, and I help female coaches sell out their offers with strategic content. Sometimes I like to call it fire content, without burning out, and that involves, a lot of strategy, either one-to-one or done for you sort of thing. It depends on the client. I serve a lot of different types of clients where some clients prefer, the work to be done for them, and some clients prefer to learn how to do it themselves. So it just really depends on who it is and what they're looking for.
So, what have you found to be very common between the people who want someone to take over their marketing?
So I find that they are the most busy. They have a lot of clients themselves. They just don't have the time to devote, even though marketing is a huge part of what everyone needs to do. You have to do marketing in order to make sales. A lot of times it sits on the back burner for some people because of, especially the clients that I work with, they have like a consistent flow of clients, like a returning client. So they have clients that have been with them for a long time, and they just don't have time to market their business to get new clients, which is just as important. So that's kind of what I see when working with the people that want the stuff done for them.
When I started out my business in 2017, after just a few months of research, I was overwhelmed and I wished to just hand over my marketing as soon as possible.
Oh yeah, it can be super overwhelming. But I just love it. I love doing it for my own business. I love doing it for other people. I love getting into the minds of other business owners and just kind of portraying what they want, putting it on paper, putting it on their, social media platforms, things like that. So I just love doing that. But yeah, it's something that's so time consuming. And if you don't really have a solid strategy, it's hard to, really, because otherwise you're wasting your time,
That is so well said, because yes, you can come up with instant ideas and inspired ideas. However, the effectiveness of such ideas is often not the kind, like the return is usually not the kind that you want. Yes, you may get engagement, it may fire some people up, but that doesn't necessarily convert into clients if you are already not very good in
converting just general conversations into clients. I'm curious, what is it that you find to be the most common place that your clients need support, whether it's you just strategizing or you're doing the work for them?
Strategizing for sure. Some clients, they come to me and they start just wanting a strategy. They think they can handle it themselves, and then they realize that they can't, and so they have that issue. And then other times they come to me and they want me to do it for them. But a lot of times it just starts with a strategy, though, for sure.
What is it that people are missing in, like, is it that they just don't have a strategy, or is it that they don't understand what a strategy is? Where is it that they lack the uh, ability, like what makes them not be able to do it effectively?
Yeah, a lot of times they just don't know what to do. They get overwhelmed. They start doing so. A lot of my clients, they try to do everything. And then that leads to burnout, and they're like, I can't do everything. I don't know what to do. I don't know how because then okay, you do everything and then you do nothing because you're so overwhelmed. And so with that being said, so many people are just focused, they're not focused on the money making, marketing strategy. So they go in and they do all these things on all these other places and they waste a lot of time and it doesn't convert, and it's just again wasting your time. You don't want to be wasting your time. Our time is precious as business owners. We are so busy. We are so busy all the time. And, just wasting your time like that is just so, it's unfortunate that a lot of people, they just don't know where to focus on, and they lack that strategy. Oh, where are my ideal clients hanging out? That's where I need to be, you know? And then they just go, like, they go to the opposite place. And it's like, yeah, I have clients that are on TikTok. They want to be on TikTok, and their ideal clients are like older women. And I'm like, they might be on TikTok, but they're probably not. So that's the sort of thing that I help people with.
Yeah, like, it is very easy to, especially now, like it has been hard always to figure out marketing, to understand what is the best practice, because there is this textbook strategy where the MBAs come in and teach you a certain thing. And then there's the very masculine way of doing it, where it's push, 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 get the sale kind of a thing. And then there's very feminine inflow and so many things, so many ways to market yourself. And everyone, in my opinion, everyone has a very good intention behind their message. However, you have to know what is going to work for you, and to know what is going to work for you, you have to try certain things in the beginning, not all of the time, but in the beginning. So I want you to give like one strategy that everyone should have. Like, it's not like a should, but yeah, one strategy that is going to result in clients much more effectively than trying everything.
Okay, I'm gonna start with, okay, I want to give two little strategies, only because the first one is like, it's like a little bit like in your mindset, you need to be yourself. It's not really a strategy. It's like you just got to be yourself. And I actually did a training yesterday on how to show up online as an introvert, because I'm an introvert and it took me a long time to be able to show up online because I was just worried of what people would think of me. And so now I don't care. You just got to be yourself. And if people don't like you, then that's their problem. That says a lot more about them than it does about you. So that's the sort of, just being yourself. If you don't get the client because you're yourself, then they weren't meant to be your client. So that's definitely number one. Number two is consistency. Whatever you decide to do, like if say you decide to post on social media, make it feasible for you. If you want to send out an email, so I always, okay, this is my big strategy that I give my paying clients all the time. You need to start with one social media platform and an email list or a blog. So try to grow your email list or try to grow your blog viewers, because your email list and your blog is the only thing that's yours, really. Social media could shut down tomorrow and then you would have no way to get clients, and that would be very, very, that would be a shame, right? And so what you want to do is start growing those things, but in a feasible way. So, like, if you want to post on social media 2 times a week and you want to send an email to your list once a week, make sure you show up those 2 times a week and that once a week to send out that email to your list every single week. And the more, so I started as a makeup artist. I had an Instagram. I mean, I still am a makeup artist. But I grew my Instagram to 25,000 followers. And I got, I'm also a professional makeup artist. I do client work and I got a bunch of clients through there. And the only way I got clients was because I showed up every single day. Now, I'm not saying to post every single day because that's the number one way you could, that'll lead to burnout, right? So what I'm saying is to be as consistent. You set yourself this schedule, stick to the schedule. And I'm talking like the same days in the week and the same time. So I would post on my makeup account every 7 days a week for like a year. And I would post every single day at 3 p.m. Eastern time. And my followers would like be waiting for my post. They'd be like, oh my gosh, I'm excited to see what you're going to post today. And that's the sort of thing when you want to build a community, which you should be as an entrepreneur. You That's the kind of thing that you want, right? You want your audience to be like, oh my gosh, I cannot wait to see what you're going to post next. What sort of insight are you going to give me today? Like, what can I learn from you today? As a makeup artist, it's a little different because they were just like, oh, what pretty look are you going to post today? Or like, because I wasn't really teaching people. But anyway, that's sort of my story when it comes to that. I posted every single day for like a year and I grew up to 25,000 followers on that account. So it works. I'm not telling you to post every day, just be as consistent as possible. Your audience is going to be waiting for it. And it's going to be so exciting when you start building that community of people that are just waiting for your posts,
So well said. And I want to bring this up that posting every day matters, even if it is 5 days a week, because you want to take a break over the weekend, because you want to spend time with family. At least those 5 days a week matters. Not because there's no way of growing without, like, even if you post once a week, you will grow. But if you're having that feeling of, why am I in this stage? It's because you didn't do the work that is necessary to reach the results that you want. I say the same thing to my kids. My daughter has a PE test today. Oh, I have a test and I'm so stressed because I cannot run. Okay, what have you done to practice running? But I run at school, mommy. But that's not intentional running. That's random. And the effect, your lungs and your heart is unable to handle the pressure that you are put through in a test. Getting clients in the beginning feels like passing a test because you succeeded in helping someone see that you can do the work that you're promising. And the homework and the schoolwork for that is the consistent showing up. Now, everybody's going to think, how am I going to post so much content? And you just showed that as a makeup artist, you didn't teach anything. The way you brought value was posting your makeup, whatever routine or photographs. There was no teaching, there was no how to, there was no giving away your trade secrets, and still 25,000 people were eager to see. Even if it is 50% of those, that's a lot of people eager to see what you have to share today. And that's an amazing message.
Yeah, yeah. And let me tell you that as a makeup artist, my content was a lot more difficult than the content is for like this side of my business because I had to physically do and I was crazy in that I did like really I'm so sorry. I did like really creative makeup, like paint, face paint, body paint. Like sometimes it would take me 8 hours to do a makeup look. And so that's the thing. Yeah. If you really can't commit to posting every single day, which it's hard at first. I always recommend to start small and then grow from there because a lot of times you just can't it's just like not possible to post every single day, and then that's the number one way you're going to burn out, and then you're not going to want to do it anymore. So starting small, and then once you feel comfortable, you're in a groove, then you start posting every you start increasing your posting schedule. That's my bit of advice. But yeah, that growing that makeup account, it made me so happy to do. But it was a lot of work, and probably a lot more work than entrepreneurs spend on their content, not gonna lie. Because it's physical, it's physical labor. Not saying that content can take a long time, especially if it's thought out, it's strategic, of course. It has to. And if you want it to convert, it has to take, it has to come from the heart. It has to take strategy, of course. But yeah, that's kind of my advice for that.
I completely agree that content creation is hard. It is no joke, especially when you look at the more successful people and start comparing yourself with them. It is very hard. I don't think I would ever be able to manage to for 8 hours to publish one post or even one reel which is 3 minutes long. That is, and if you think about it, that effort is what resulted in 25,000 people giving you their time and attention. You are never picking up the phone to scroll on social media with intention. It is mindlessly. But when you're looking for your person's uh, content, that is intentional, and they were giving it to you. That clearly shows that you did something that was not normal, that was not uh, that was very selfless, honestly, because
Yeah.
putting in that much time on your makeup, which you have to remove after. I mean, makeup is a thing that concerns me. Like, I am as minimal as possible kind of person, because it's not just I have to learn to apply it, I have to then figure out how to remove it. It's so much work.
Yeah, yeah. And sometimes I would remove it. Like I would take a few pictures, a little video of what I did, and then I would remove it like right after. And it was like 8 hours of work just to take it off right after. That was
Yeah, oh
another
no,
thing. I was like,
it's like I clean the kitchen, I don't want to cook in that kitchen for the next week.
exactly, exactly.
So I want you to give our listeners some tips that'll help them figure out how to post content consistently. I have my own method. The way I serve clients is giving them all of these prompts and working with them on coming up with the ideas for the blogs. I want you to focus mainly on the blog aspect. I want you to talk about why you insist on blog and social media and not just social media.
So, there have been instances where my clients have had their Facebook disabled. Um, I forgot about this. Oh my gosh, because trauma. My makeup account was disabled for a day. Yeah, it happened 3 times. I don't know what it was. It was like a glitch in the system. I posted the same picture. I posted a picture right when I posted it, the account was disabled. I appealed it to Instagram. I was like, hello, I didn't do anything wrong. There's nothing wrong with this picture. And then they finally gave it back like 24 hours later. Then I decided to post that same picture again. Same thing happened. And so when that happened, I was like, okay, wait a minute. I need a backup plan because like, what if they decide not to give me my account back? So that could happen to anybody. I had a client last year who had her Facebook, her Facebook was hacked, and so her ads were shut down. Like she was not able to run ads anymore at all. And honestly, that's a whole other story because her organic strategy wasn't that great, and so we're working on that anyway. But anyway, like that's still not. It's not a good idea to have all of your eggs in one basket. Just like when you finally get comfortable on a social media platform, then you can start adding other ones in that your ideal clients are hanging out in. Like that's kind of like my method. But what I mean by starting an email list or a blog is that is yours. Like yes, you're like I use MailerLite. MailerLite could shut down tomorrow if they wanted. I mean, hopefully they won't, and hopefully they would give us some warning before that happened. And then you can export your subscribers from there, and then you can move to a different platform. Whereas if you have all of your eggs in social media, all of your stuff is on social media and that's it, and Facebook decides to shut down tomorrow, what are you going to do? Like you won't have a way to contact your your hot leads, your warm leads, your even cold leads. You won't be able to find new clients if you have all of your attention just on social media. So another reason I like blogs is that it's SEO friendly. So when people are Googling their problems or solutions to their problems, hopefully you pop up. So that's the sort of thing that I take my clients through. But I tend to start with email lists usually. It's a little bit easier to, grow an email list and, for an email list to convert, because people to subscribe to your email list to get, something. Usually it's a freebie, something from you for a reason. And so they have an interest in what you're offering. So most of those people will eventually become clients, even if it does take a while. So that's kind of the reason why I focus on email list and blog, and yes, one social media platform.
Yes, and social media, my observation has been it's less where people want to learn things. It's more like a billboard rather. Like if there's 10 lined up and only the ones that catch your attention are the ones you will spend any time perusing further. So that trying to use that as the place where you dump all of your knowledge, not really that beneficial even for the person consuming. Like, I don't know how many people go on Instagram to actually learn. Most of them are scrolling and scrolling without much intention, looking for something to like unwind rather than. But it has an opposite effect, however. But the purpose is to unwind.
Yeah, yeah.
So I want to know what is the most efficient strategy you found among for all of your clients to grow their email list currently.
So my strategy is actually one that I hadn't like I came up with myself. Like I hadn't heard anyone really do this as much. And it involves two parts. And it's if you want to grow a Facebook group as well, this really, really helps. So myself and a lot of my clients find great success finding clients in Facebook groups. So we go into Facebook groups and we come up with really strategic content regarding our freebie or a free call. Like if you are a business coach or a life coach, like a free audit call, or like how to you want a very specific goal, like some sort of free call or a freebie, like an actual, like my freebie is a spreadsheet that everyone loves. The spreadsheet, everyone loves spreadsheets. I don't know why, but like they love the spreadsheet, and it's got like content ideas on it and you can check off. Anyway, so everyone loves spreadsheets. So you go into other Facebook groups and you're like, I created this spreadsheet that'll help you do this very specific result. Who wants a copy before I make it paid, or something like that. People are like, yes, me, I want it. You direct them to your Facebook group if you have one. If not, you direct them to your opt-in page, and that's how you grow a list. I'm not gonna lie to you, I started my list in June. It hasn't even been a year, and I'm at almost 4,000 subscribers through this method, which is not a lot in the grand scheme of things, but I feel like it kind of is. Like it, and it's just a strategy that I thought of one day, and I hadn't really heard a lot of people. I mean, yes, a lot of people leverage other Facebook groups to grow their email list, like just sending them to the opt-in page, but growing your Facebook group and your email list simultaneously, that I thought was a pretty smart move on my part. So in the membership questions, I'll have like, if you want to get this spreadsheet, leave your email. So they have to leave their email, they get accepted into the group, and then I build this community. I'm building this community in my Facebook group, and I'm also growing my email list. So that's the sort of thing that I love this strategy because they are people that are now have you are following you in multiple places. So they're part of your community, your free community on Facebook, and then they're also getting emails from you, to nurture them and just kind of keep them. And I go live weekly, so they also see me in that manner. Like they see me in video. I do trainings with in my group, so that I kind of nurture them that way as well. And then they get nurtured through emails, through written. Like there's something for everybody, because everyone's a different type of learner. Like some people like to read more than they like to see a video and learn that way. So I go live weekly, but I also send weekly emails, and it's Most of the time it's about the same thing, but sometimes it's not really. And so they kind of get nurtured in two different ways like that.
That is such a great idea. Honestly, it is feeling like things are growing harder. It's harder to grow your following, it's harder to grow your email list. And having a strategy that helps you grow multiple platforms or multiple aspects is really very effective and efficient way of using your time. So, and 4,000 people, imagine 4,000 people sitting in front of you, ready to listen to every time you come and
Mm.
in front of them. That is daunting. So 4,000 is a huge number. Granted, if you have a huge course or a membership, even then it feels like decent amount. All you have to do is be get better at converting those people into clients. So that is so good. And yes, people always say, especially introverts, that social media is draining them. I want to understand exactly how is it draining, because social media isn't keeping you locked in. It's over here in your brain, in your mind, that you're logged in, struggling to come up with content ideas and struggling to come up with how to engage with people. Like the simple things that we do every day in real life, once translated to online, it starts to feel overwhelming because we think about how can I do it in a large scale, but that is not necessary. Just listening to you saying I create content for the Facebook group lives and written content and email can feel overwhelming to someone, but I'm sure you didn't start out doing everything all in the single moment. It started gradually.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It took me a long time to even get the courage to really start my Facebook group. So I started my Facebook group in 2022 in May, and it took me a year to take action, or a year and a month even. Like in June 2023, that's when I was like, you know what? I want to do this. I want to build a community. Um and I don't it took me so long because I was just like, I was part of this coaching program that they revolved everything around a Facebook group, and the way they made it seem was so daunting. I just didn't want to do it. I was like, I'm so shy. I don't, and yes, I know what I'm talking about. Like, I know what I'm doing. I know marketing, even though I don't have a marketing degree. I know what to do to get clients because I've done it before. I've helped people get clients. But it's just like I don't want to put myself out there. I don't want to be on camera. I don't want to tell people. Like I was so shy. I was so shy. And then in June, I was like, you know what? If they don't like it, then they're not my people, and I don't care. Like I just stopped caring what people thought, and I just did it. And now you know what? People like look forward to my lives every single week. It's not like that same tight knit community that my makeup account was or is. I don't post every day anymore over there because I just can't. That would be way too much. But yeah, they kind of understand now. But they ask me so often, oh, when are you posting again? Like, and so that community was it was great. But you know, building a community, it does take time. And no, I did not start all at once. But when I did decide to start growing my Facebook group, I came up with the strategy of growing my email list at the same time because I was like, you know what? Facebook could shut down tomorrow. They could shut down my group for no reason. They could feel it. They could be like, oh, you know what? I don't want this group here anymore. Bye group. And then I'm like, oh no, my community is gone. But no, I have my email list to fall back on. So that's the sort of thing. Yeah, that's why I recommend one platform. So if you can't tell, my one platform is my Facebook group, Facebook in general, because I also provide value in other Facebook groups and things like that. And then my email list as well. I also do occasionally put out blog posts. But I would recommend choosing one or the other until you're really comfortable and you have a group going. And now that I'm a little more comfortable, I'm also throwing in Instagram a little bit for this. But yeah, I definitely recommend starting slow. It can be overwhelming, but social media, I feel like it's what you make it. If you're true to yourself, you're authentic, you're like, I want to spread my message in a way that aligns with me, then it can be fun. It can be fun. It can be like, wow, I cannot wait to show up next week and talk about content domination. That's what I want to be going live with next week in my group. And I'm like, I'm so excited about it. I'm pumped. And because I made it a fun place, I made it my sort of escape. And yes, a lot of people, they see social media, they're like, no, I don't want to do it. That's how I was at first. Until you get this courage. And as an introvert, it can be hard and it's easier said than done. It's like just do it. Like it's like telling an anxious person, which by the way, I have anxiety. It's like telling an anxious person to stop stressing out, to stop being anxious. You can't do that. Um, but it's one of those things where you just start slowly. And a couple of tips I have for that, by the way, would be if to start slowly. And that would be like if you want to go live in a Facebook group, if you want to do video content, start with 5 minutes. Give yourself 5 minutes. Do a little like oh my gosh. So my makeup my makeup account, when I first started, you should have seen, first of all, I wasn't always crazy talented at makeup, so my makeup wasn't great. But I also did YouTube videos that went along with it. I grew up my YouTube channel to like 13,000. I post occasionally too. Um, and my first YouTube videos were like, "Hi everyone, I'm here to show you my makeup." Like it was so boring, so boring. And I look back on it and I cringe, and I'm like, okay, yeah, it's definitely something that you get better at with time. It's not gonna be perfect the first time, but just do it. And then you start with 5 minutes, 5 minutes of a live video. Wouldn't it be a shame if you didn't show up and showed the world your expertise because you were too afraid to start? That's my biggest message, honestly. And so that's like, I thank God every day that I was like, you know what, just do it. Just do it. And I did it. And seriously, it has changed my business. So yeah,
Had you not posted the cringe stuff, you would have never given yourself the opportunity to improve and be the best that you can today.
exactly. Exactly. And that's a great message for anybody out there. It's like, oh, but I'm too shy. I don't know. Like, I'm going to be like cringy again. Yes, everyone has a starting point. It's not going to be perfect from the beginning. But if you don't start, you can't get better.
Exactly. I mean, you can learn, you can watch all the lessons and all the experts teaching how to do something, but without doing it, you will never improve. You will
Exactly.
always start out in the most um, simplest way and get better. And mastery only comes by doing, not by thinking.
Exactly. Exactly.
And all of us want to be masters because we don't want people to think we are not experts. Our expertise is not in marketing if we are not trying to sell marketing. So, as a graphic designer, stop thinking that you have to be an expert marketer and be present and repurpose all the content in all the places possible. No, you just need to have one platform where your clients hang out, and just that one thing to begin with. You can always add more later.
Exactly. Exactly. Once you have a group going, it's so much easier to add stuff to what you're doing. And that includes like the number of times a week you're posting to. Like it doesn't have to be all in or nothing, in my opinion. Because that way you don't burn out. So
I'm curious, what is your magic formula for creating fire content?
well, my magic formula is 3 phases. It's clarity, confidence, and consistency. So clarity comes from where you understand who you're talking to, um, what they want, their deep desires, not just like, okay, like, my ideal clients are female entrepreneurs. That's very, very broad. You want to be very specific. What are they going through right now at this moment? And how can you help them? How is what you're offering going to transform their lives, right? Because at the end of the day, what you offer is going to be transformative in some capacity, right? And then, confidence is once you know who that is, who you're targeting with your content, confidence in your offers, in your messaging, in your content. And then, to be consistent, trying to figure out a content schedule, a posting schedule, a nurturing schedule, that sort of thing. Like everything comes down to like those 3 things, in my opinion. And that's the kind of, because you can create all the content in the world. in the world. But if it doesn't speak to your true ideal client, then it's not going to do anything. It's not going to convert. You're just going to be wasting your time.
Yes, so very well said. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, you can target female entrepreneurs. That is totally fine. But when in your content, you have to get specific about the problem. Like, yes, you can work with everyone as a graphic designer because everybody has the need for colors and lines and patterns, etc. All said and done, you are not capable of creating every kind of art.
Exactly.
So, what kind of art can you create and who resonates with that kind of art? Because not every artist is everyone's cup of tea. I mean, Mona Lisa is great. I don't understand the craze. But then there would be there could be 10 people standing opposite me saying, how can you be so uh, whatever uh, mindless, or how can you not appreciate? Completely understand their point of view, but it's not resonating with me. So you cannot come and tell me that my taste is bad. It's just that maybe somebody else's art will affect me more. And that is the person who can sell to me.
Yeah,
So when you
exactly.
understand your ideal client avatar from that perspective, content becomes easier.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want you to help our listeners figure out clarity aspect. Like everyone says, you have to be very clear and concise in your content. Yes, you have to talk to one person, but when it comes to helping your clients, how do you help them gain clarity?
So I take them through some journal prompts that I have. I mean I have a full program that I go through with the 3 phases, and it's a group coaching program and that sort of thing. But that's I mean the number one thing that helped me get clear on who I wanted to. So when I first started this business in 2019, I was like, I want to work with 8 figure female entrepreneurs, like the big shots, and I want to do their marketing for them. Then I realized that they probably have a full-time marketing person, and I was talking to broke people anyway in my content. And so like I was talking to people like that don't know how to do marketing at all, which is not the case because obviously the 7 and 8 figure female entrepreneurs, they got there for a reason. So they knew what they were doing to some capacity. They just don't have time for it. So when I flipped that and I was like, okay, wait, you don't have time to handle your marketing, let me do it for you. That's when I started getting some clients and some traction. But then I realized I didn't want to work with those people anymore anyway. And I started you know, I really journaled on who was my perfect soulmate client. And I'll talk about an exercise that I take my clients through. I have them draw on a piece of paper 2 columns, like a lines on the sheet of paper. And on one side, it's like clients that you worked with. And if you haven't worked with clients, just think about like a horrible client that you've had, like a horrible experience you might have with a client. Like in your head, what would that be? Who would that be? Like, what are they? First of all, everyone's going to have something in common. They're broke. They can't afford your services. That's pretty much what a lot of us have gone through, I'm sure, as entrepreneurs. Oh, I can't afford your services. All right, then you're not meant for me. um, and then you want to do on the other side, think of your perfect client, your soulmate client, the client that's like, wow, I want to pay you right now. And so I have them do that exercise, and that there from that exercise, there comes a lot of revelations. It's like, wow, yes, I am targeting people that are broke. So I need to change my messaging and my content from that to someone who can afford me and someone who will do what it takes to be able to afford me. Now, I'm not saying like I never recommend my clients or potential clients, you don't have to take out a loan to work with me. Like, don't do that. Like, you don't want people to do that. But if they want it bad enough, they'll figure out a way, you know?
Yes, so well said. Yes.
So that's one exercise that I do for the clarity and just a lot of journaling, journal prompts, like who a lot of it comes with who you want to be as a business owner too, like where you see yourself in 5 years, where you see yourself in 10 years, and who you see yourself helping, because that's something that could change. And it did change for me. Like I said, I realized I didn't want to work with those 7 and 8 figure female entrepreneurs. Um After working with a few, I was like, okay, it was a bit much for me. But everyone has their thing. And so once you figure out who that is, you can finally create this content that's, speaks directly to them.
Yeah. And I understand this idea of targeting a certain income range. That is how we all begin with, I can help everybody to, oh, I can help people with this much money. And then we realize there are people who will just figure out how to work with us if we can show to them that we are the person to help them overcome that problem. That's it. They'll figure out how to. Nobody has money to buy a house all in the bank. Everybody is figuring out. Nobody is saying, okay, I'll buy a house tomorrow. No, that is never happening. The idea pops in and the plan to save for the down payment starts.
Exactly.
It's not until the idea pops into your head that I want a house, I am done with renting, you don't think about saving for that. So once the idea is in their brain to hire a graphic designer, they're going to figure out how to make that happen. They're going to research how much they have to save up or how much they have to like, even if it's going to go on a credit card, does my card have that limit? They will figure it out. It's just that we have to make sure to help them see, yes, this is your problem, and yes, definitely can help you solve that problem.
Exactly. Exactly. And it's even better when you solve a very specific problem, not like for me, yes, I help people my big thing, so I went from, yes, helping people with content. Well, who cares about that? Like, why do I care about content? Well, at the end of the day, you want to sell out your offers. You want to sell your offers. So that's my biggest promise. I can help you sell out your offers with content. So the end result has to be very specific in a way that, like, when you convey the value, like, okay, how will your life change if you completely sold, if you're fully booked out, like if you cannot take another client, if you're just so booked, you can't have anybody else. Like, how would that change your life? That's the sort of thing when you convey that in your content, people are like, whoa, I do need to work with you because you solve one specific problem that they are looking to be solved. So, yeah.
And the mistake that I used to make was I wouldn't confidently say that you're going to have a website that converts because I was new and I didn't, I felt it was, I can't guarantee that people are going, you can get the traffic. If you get the traffic, yes, of course, it'll convert. And most people that I was working with, because I was charging so less, were people who have just as new as me and had no clue how to get traffic. So I hadn't seen my clients convert until much later. And that would scare me to say that, yes, the websites that I develop are definitely going to be so fast that people would want to stay and go through and read, etc. Having that confidence matters when you're saying with confidence that, yes, this is your problem. I know how to solve it. I've done this. That is all that people need. They don't need 10,000 people giving reviews that you can do it. You just need to be able to confidently say. When you say, don't say it confidently, they don't know if they should hire you.
Yep, exactly. Exactly. And so like my current business coach, she promises, oh, you'll get 10 plus, like in one of her offers, not the one that I'm in, you'll get 10 plus clients per month with your Instagram content or something like that. And at first I used to be like, how can you promise that? But she is so confident about her abilities to be able to get you 10 plus clients per month that she just does it confidently in her marketing and her messaging. And obviously, when you have the results to back it up, it helps. Obviously, you shouldn't be promising something that you cannot deliver. But I've sold out my offers. I've helped tons of clients solve their offers, and selling out offers looks different from person to person. So I can confidently say that I can help you sell out your offers. Can I guarantee that you will sell out your offers? No, but I can help you sell out your offers. You have to put in the work yourself too. So that's the kind of thing it's like a little asterisk. You must do the work in order to to get results. but having that confidence behind your marketing is where people will be drawn into you. Like you'll be like a magnet. Like, wow, she's promising this. Let's work together.
Yes, we forget that it is a collaborative effort. It doesn't matter. Yeah, you're the graphic designer, you're doing the majority of the work, but your work will be subpar if the inputs from your clients are subpar.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
It's the same, like, yeah, you can give me marketing strategy all day long. You can even sit beside me with my when I'm sitting with my laptop. But if I have to use my own brain and thinking to create the content, then there's only so much you can do. The rest is on me. So, yes, you just have to talk about how much you can do. You cannot vouch for the client's efforts.
Yep. Yep. I've had clients who don't see results because they don't implement what I'm teaching them. It's like it's not I can only do so much. And it's unfortunate that you pay for a service or a program that you're not fully implementing, which I've done in the past too myself. We're all guilty of it to some degree. We buy course after course and then we don't even watch the modules at all. Sometimes, so, but yeah, there's only so much you can do as a service provider. I mean, not as a service provider, there's only so much you can do if they like, even my done for you side of things, if you don't get me the content, how am I supposed to post it? So it's like it's definitely a two-way street in all aspects.
Yes, absolutely. Like, I'm a business coach and I can help you double your income. The thing is, you have to understand, if you were making only $10, when I promise double your income, it's a piece of cake. But if you are making $25,000, then the way I show up has to be different. And definitely, if you're making 25,000, the way you show up has to be very different. Most of the people that I've seen in Facebook groups these days, I understand the economy is tough and women want to contribute, but I don't. The fact that you want to watch your kid and work doesn't sit as well with me. Some people are capable, they are able to multitask. I understand, and those people, great. But if I was hiring a VA and she wasn't able to get the work done, it's going to make it hard for me to trust another person to, like, who says they want to. So I understand everything. I myself had kids for a long time, and with the pandemic I was homeschooling, but I had to carve aside a certain number of hours a day so that I could do the work. So when people say I don't have time but I need the money, I am not able to understand how can you give, you have to give something. How can you get something without giving anything?
Yep, exactly. Exactly. I really it's interesting because I stay home with my son too, but I do find time. I never have the excuse I don't have the time. I have a whole team of people. I have an agency. Like, I scaled this business when I was pregnant with him. I really scaled this business when I was pregnant with him. So, and then I was able to take time off, when I had him. And so when you have that system going, it's much easier. When you have to put in the work, though. You have to carve out the time. And imagine being pregnant and carving out the time to be able to scale this. So my point is, if I can do it, you can do it. And I don't want to say stop making excuses. But I don't have time excuse is, sometimes I'm working late at night after he goes to bed. It's what I have to do in order to continue this business. I'm not going to have clients. And here's the thing, if my clients can't understand that I have a kid, then there's a problem there too. It kind of goes both ways. But I will never make that an excuse as to why I can't get something done. So, yes, I totally agree with what you're saying. There's a lot of people out there that they're stay-at-home moms and they just want like a side hustle, but they don't have time to commit to like a whole program, and they don't know it's hard. And I totally sympathize, because if I didn't have this business, I don't know what I would be doing, because I like being home with him. I do, but it does take a lot of work. And it's not just something I don't have time for this. No, you have to do it. Like you just if you want it bad enough, you're gonna do it. So
Yes. It's the same with money. If you will figure it out. The same way if you want to run a business from home and be with your kids, you will figure out a way to figure out the time. And rather than saying, I don't have time, if you had just posted, I have only 2 hours a day to dedicate, what is the work that I can do? Please help me. The I don't know. People still use those posts as a way to promote themselves, but it's not helping the person. Nobody can really do much in 2 hours if they don't have a strategy.
yeah. Yeah. You have to use those 2 hours. Trust me, when I have the dedicated time, I'm like, I gotta go. Like I have a strategy behind every minute I put into this business. Like I'm not just sitting here willy-nilly, like chilling. And I also it's something else that's really important is like shutting off, from your business when you're done. Like when you're done, you just gotta shut off sometimes. But there are other times where yes, I'm working late at night. When he goes to bed, I'm working till 11, 12. It just has to happen. You got to do what you got to do.
Yes. N- The the ability to figure out even when it feels like it's impossible, that is what helps you keep going on this self-employed journey, because you're self-employed. Entrepreneur is a great title, but please understand you're self-employed. If your
Yep.
employer wasn't paying you or giving you work, you wouldn't have any growth or you wouldn't have any income and you would quit. So
Yep.
why are you not doing that with yourself? You're the boss. Tell your boss, give me work, give me proper work, and give me money.
Yep. Yep. Exactly.
It was really fun talking to you. And I am curious, where can people find all of the resources that you just shared about your spreadsheet, about your group, etc.?
So my group is Socially Savvy Entrepreneurs on Facebook. I can send you the link if you want. And then my spreadsheet, well, you can find it on my website. I have actually a ton of free resources. I have another like Facebook tracker. I have all of like a lot of live video trainings on my website, the digitalmarketingcollective.com. Like the digital, it's a super long name, but that's the name of my agency. And that's where you can find me there. And then yeah, I'm also on Instagram, but I just don't. I'm starting on Instagram. I'm Laura C Martinez _. It's like it's such an annoying Instagram, but like, yeah, that's yeah, we can forget about Instagram. My Facebook group is my baby, Socially Savvy Entrepreneurs. And then my website has a bunch of free resources that you can uh download.
Awesome. I'll put all the links in the show notes. Um, I want to ask you about one podcast or a book that you found to be really helpful on your journey.
Oh, um, okay. Can I say a cuss word? Because it does have a cuss word in it. I don't
Yeah,
want
go ahead. Go ahead.
I think wait, what is it called? Get Rich Lucky Bitch. That's what it's called, I'm pretty sure. By Denise Duffield
Denise.
Thomas. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's a honestly that book changed my life though when I read it a couple of years ago because it really shifted my mindset around money. And honestly, everyone could have money if you just have the right mindset. You put in the work, of course, but you have to have that, you know, that mindset, that oh my gosh, that drive to get what you want. And so I love that book so much, so much.
It's a good book that I read the digital copy, so my kids would, like, when they would open the Kindle to read the book, Mommy, why do you have such a bad book? And I have the You Are a Badass.
Oh, me
Mommy,
too.
like they didn't know that was, like, those are curse words until recently. Mommy, why do you have such bad books? Because adults use certain words to emphasize certain or provide certain meaning.
Exactly.
Yes, I'll put all the information in the show notes for our listeners. Thank you so much for being here. And I had an amazing time talking to you. I hope our listeners also enjoy the conversation. I know they got a lot of value from it. And I know that they are going to love your spreadsheet. I'll just put the link in the
Everyone
description.
loves spreadsheets. I don't know why.
They just appeal to the logical mind, the what is that, the left brain, right brain, whichever. The more airy fairy things, yeah, they are fun, but they're not easily like tangible.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
spreadsheets make everything feel tangible.
Yeah.
So I'll let you go now. It was really fun talking to you.
You too. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Impactful Introvert podcast. If you want to share your views, opinions, or ask me questions, then please send me a message on Instagram. My handle is Seema Pateel. See you in the next one.